That was Michael Collins. Look, I want to compliment the proposer of the motion here and to say again that I met the taxi drivers yesterday on the street in their thousands. Dignified and decent people who all they want to do is earn a living. But they have been abandoned by this government, like many other sectors have been abandoned, especially Nadine that are over 66, the people that are over 66. They have been totally thrown to the wolves. They haven't got a shilling from anyone. Back years ago, you couldn't get a taxi licence. There was huge lobbying then to loosen up the situation, and regulation was lifted. There's too many taxis now that just come out like confetti at a wedding, and it's flooded the market. But this COVID crisis has really threatened to undermine them. Remember, all of them, they have wives, they have families, and they have parents as well. Some of them are trying to support them, and the hours they have to work, and at times they're subject to very disquieting treatment by occasional members of the public who abuse them and threaten them and God knows what. So they have a high risk job. They now have had to kit out their vehicles with perspex shielding and to take all the disinfectants and do that a couple of times a day. So it's a huge onus on them, but the government aren't listening. I should have asked at the first stage, I wish you well, Minister, in your new role, and I know that you are an understanding man and will try and make some movements here, but we can't keep talking about it. They can't keep waiting. They're disappearing. They have loans and they have to replace their cars every 10 years, and get them tested twice yearly, and the taxi test as well. So it's an onerous job, a very responsible job, and insurance, is difficult as well. So they need to be supported. They can't wait for the crumbs from the table. They're not even getting the crumbs from the table now, especially the ones that are over 66. And it's amazing that number of people would turn up last night or yesterday and they wouldn't even get a mention on the news channel. It's reserved for the likes of Alan Kelly, who he didn't tell us the first about the adjournment of the Dáil. He told us about coming back, that he'd made a phone call to the Taoiseach and claimed on how he was responsible. He tells his people in Tipperary today. So it's Brian Dobson better watch out, because if Deputy Kelly does bad in the next election, he'll be straight into the studios for the 6-1 News, and that's what he'll be doing. It's farcical of RTE. They have a duty to cover protests like this, and indeed, the protest last Saturday, you can complain about it if you like, but they're entitled to protest. We're threatening now to bring in legislation to stop it, but RTE, as our channel that everyone pay a licence for, have a duty to cover this. They're not covering it, and it's shameful, as I said, and they have Alan Kelly for breakfast, dinner and supper.